But in business, you want to watch what you're measuring. Measuring the wrong things could be disastrous. Most of you are business analysts, I understand. You wear many hats. When you analyze problems and identify root causes, wouldn't it be nice if you have some metrics that you can look at to give you an indication of how big a problem you're dealing with? When you're gathering business requirements, wouldn't it be great if the business knows what they need rather than what they want? Sometimes doesn't it feel like pulling teeth from them? And when you design new solutions, wouldn't it be fantastic if the business could describe exactly the results they want the solution to deliver? Now, milestones are absolutely necessary for project management. They are indicators of progress of your tasks. So if you look at an MS project, you look at the timeline, the milestones for the work breakdown structure, it gives you an idea whether you're moving forward with the final deliverables. But milestones are actually completion of a task. You might not have delivered any result yet. What is the biggest problem with benchmarking? A lot of times you're really comparing apples and oranges. If you really want to make a fair comparison, you have to really understand the equation of the calculation, the assumptions, definition of data, and so on. On this chart, where you have product selection for companies, this is somewhat similar. So what they sell is somewhat similar to the target you're benchmarking against, and this is where you have comparable product portfolios. And this is your definition of metrics. And if your metrics is really broadly defined, like revenue per square foot, whereas this is narrowly defined, you can tell how comparable it is. So when your product is only somewhat similar to your benchmark company and is broadly defined, this is totally irrelevant. When they're narrow defined, yeah, could be meaningful. I call it a teaser. However, if your product portfolio is comparable, but it's really broad, I would use it as a reference only. It's only here when you have narrowly defined, very specific product portfolio, then I would call this a fair comparison. So when you look at metrics design, that comes to the last step. In my workshop, I usually look at there 4 steps to metrics design. The last step is really detailing all these specifics. What exactly are we measuring? Where are you getting the data? Are we looking at percentages or absolute numbers? How are you going to present the data? Are we looking at trends and so on? So you really need to define all those very clearly before you can say, I have some metrics that I can act on.
The biggest takeaway I found was how Connie defined what makes a good metric. She defined 3 very clear expectations for that. I found Connie to be totally engaging, intelligent, articulate, and was well versed in the subject matter, and as a result brought me into the session.